So hey guys, the series name is What If Naruto Become the Heir of Nazarick in Overlord. This is second part of the series, so let's start the series. Walking along the roads of Konoha, Naruto made a small stop at Tenten's place to pick up the items he asked her to make. She delivered and it was everything Naruto asked for. Tenten found the things he asked for to be kind of weird. But she thought it was just something he was now into. With his stuff now in his possession, Naruto maneuvered through the streets and found Kushina standing outside a shop, looking at the various things she wanted to buy. Smiling to himself, he snuck behind her and peered over her shoulder. "What are we looking at?" asked Naruto, giving the poor woman a fright. So much in fact her only reaction was to punch the man so hard in the face he was sent flying. Kushina stood there, her hair dancing as her rage boiled to where she could be a similar case of being a demon. "Don't you ever think I'd do anything for you? I'm in love with another man, and you don't fill that spot reserved for him. You bastard," said Kushina as her fist still smoked red. "I can see that. So who is this other man?" asked Naruto, slowly getting up. Kushina's face turned to one of shock and embarrassment. She couldn't believe what she had just done. She had totally smashed the man she loved's face in, and now she had probably damaged the cartilage in his nose as a result, if the bleeding nose was anything to go by. "Naruto-kun, I'm so sorry," said Kushina as she went over to him and helped him up. "That's okay," said Naruto until he had a light bulb moment. Gaining a vicious smirk, he decided to play with Kushina. "So who is this guy? Is he cute?" Kushina simply blushed as she nodded her head. "Does he have a good personality?" asked Naruto, the smirk growing bigger. Again Kushina blushed and nodded her head. "I hope he treats you well." "See ya," said Naruto, fixing his nose, which healed immediately as he grabbed his stuff and left, leaving Kushina shocked that he just left her like that. Sprinting and grabbing him by the arm, she slammed him against a wall in an alleyway. She glared into his eyes as Naruto gave a very nasty smile. Knowing he had her right where he wanted her. "There is only one I love," snapped Kushina as Naruto licked her cheek. "Are you starting to have a three-way love triangle here? 'Cause you should know I don't like being someone's plaything," said Naruto. "No, I'm not. 'Cause I love you. Only you," said Kushina as she slammed her hands over her lips at realizing she said that out loud. "Then you should have said so." "'Cause I feel the same way," said Naruto as he caressed her cheek. "I read your letter. It mentioned you wanted to go out with me?" said Kushina as Naruto nodded his head. "I do. How about I come around tonight at 7? said Naruto. "Done. See you then," said Kushina as she stole a kiss from Naruto. Watching her walk away while trying to contain herself, Naruto smiled and made his way to the hospital to meet the woman who could help him with his angelic powers. Chisato Hasegawa. Walking to the reception, he placed his hands on the counter, and the receptionist looked him dead in the eyes. "Can I help you?" she asked. "Yes. I'd like to speak to Chisato Hasegawa," replied Naruto. "Second room on the right, following this passage on the left," said the receptionist. "Thank you," said Naruto. Walking down the passageway, he really thanked his new look. Due to him looking extremely different, no one recognized him. Except a few people. He certainly was surprised that Kushina recognized him, but he boiled that down due to the amount of time she stalked him. She got a feel for his powers. Not his outside ones being with the chakra, the locked away ones, and now that those were unlocked, she could sense him more better. But he had to be sure. So he'd ask her on their date. Knocking on the door, he heard a voice on the other side telling him to come in. Steeling himself up, he opened the door and walked in. What he found made him fire off an enormous nosebleed at what he was seeing. The woman before him had a lab coat on, a green sweater that did nothing to hide her amazing chest area, a black skirt that looked much too short, and only added to the amazing figure she had, black stockings covering her shapely legs and high heels to put the cherry on the cake. She was completely stunning. She wore glasses and her hair was a beautiful raven color, while her eyes were a jealous green. Naruto didn't care of the glasses, but man did they make her look smoking hot. And Chisato seriously pulls off the glasses fucking well. "I'm here to see you about my situation," said Naruto as Chisato nodded her head. "I know," You've awoken, haven't you, Naruto-chan? Said Chisato, shocking Naruto. How do you know my name? When I haven't told you my name? Said Naruto, making Chisato giggle. I was the one who pulled you out of your mother. I was there when they named you. As well, I was the doctor who always treated your injuries. Don't you remember? Said Chisato, watching Naruto gain a thinking pose. It was true. How could he have forgotten? Chisato was the one who healed his wounds and ensured he was okay. He went to her every time he had a cold. Every time he had cuts and scrapes. She was always there for him. Oh my shit. I'm so sorry. Said Naruto as Chisato let loose another giggle. It's fine. Maybe you can make it up to me by letting me be one of your mistresses. Said Chisato with a lick of her lips. How did you know I'm the new Overlord? Asked Naruto, making Chisato laugh this time. Every single goddess and god knows you're the new Overlord. Don't worry. We have your back. Said Chisato. Thank you? Said Naruto, only to have Chisato place a finger on his lips, silencing him. Don't thank me. Thank Bishamon-chan. She persuaded we all back you up as the war in heaven is about to happen. Said Chisato. The war in heaven? Asked Naruto, arching his eyebrow. Ah. The war in heaven is a war between us and the gods of the outside. The empire that has been slowly moving into our land here. They have their gods and you have yours, being Kami and so on. So you can imagine what will happen when outside gods invade a place that already has gods. Said Chisato, making Naruto nod his head. A bloodbath will occur. Said Naruto. Yes. But down to brass tacks. Let me sense your power. Said Chisato, placing a hand on his chest. Closing both their eyes, they began to concentrate. After a few minutes, Chisato retracted her hand and looked deep into Naruto's eyes. She smiled to him, but Naruto knew there was something wrong. Tell me, what is the matter? Asked Naruto. It seems there was a slight problem when you awoke. Tell me. How did you awaken your powers as a demigod? Asked Chisato. I was lying in a pool of my own blood and then I just felt so much power when I agreed to have power. Replied Naruto. That sent everything you have into overdrive. When a demigod awakens her power, they go through the same thing. But seeing that you were on the verge of death, the power went into overdrive too much too soon, to heal your wounds, and has mutated your seraph state. You can access it, but there is a serious side effect should you be injured badly. Said Chisato. How bad? Asked Naruto, confused and taking a seat. I've only seen one instance when this happened. The person would be in so much pain their human mind would shut down to allow the body to regenerate. But while the human mind was off, the other one was on. His evil side, if you would call it that. Yours, however, is the seraph state. You have the normal one you can access, and then you have the other, the corrupted angel. Said Chisato. I don't want to meet this corrupted angel. Said Naruto, slightly shaking. You don't have to, as long as you don't injure your body too much. Said Chisato. I see. Well, thank you for that. Said Naruto, as he got up only to receive a peck on the lips from Chisato. Be seeing around hot stuff. Said Chisato with a sultry smirk on her face. I'd be sure to pay a visit every now and then. Said Naruto as he walked out the room and then the hospital. Walking back to his home, he pushed the gold-plated gate open and walked up the cobblestone pathway to his front door. Opening it up, he found the Browns busy cleaning the ceiling and walls to where they couldn't reach. He had to give the little buggers credit. They sure knew how to work. Reds, he found a few outside setting up guard posts, and some greens were found doing some recon around the house. Spotting Akino walking into the room, he grabbed her arm, causing her to shriek in surprise, but stopped her antics when she saw it was Naruto. Can I talk to you? Asked Naruto. Of course. Replied Akino, leading her man to a private area. What is it? She asked, stopping and turning around. In the underworld you said you were a corrupted Nephilim. Why is that? Asked Naruto. As you know, a Nephilim is a being who is born both angel and demon. But a corrupted Nephilim is a child born through a demon and a fallen angel. But there are other variations of Nephilim, said Akino, intriguing Naruto's interest. Do share. Said Naruto. Anyone can be born. But they must have some angel and demon somewhere in their blood. You are a more pseudo-Nephilim. You are born human, but have the power of an angel, and the other half of your DNA is that of a demon. So that is where the Nephilim comes in. I feel that everyone should be respected in any way, and I thank you for giving me the time to show you everything I am to you," said Akino. "I will ensure you have everything you need and more." "Just ask," said Naruto. "I will, Naruto-sama." "I will," said Akino as she left, leaving Naruto to his own devices. Looking at the time, he found it to be 6:15. Walking to the bathroom on the second floors, he got into the shower only to feel his first lover wrap her arms around his chest and press her assist into his back. "Planning on meeting your woman?" she asked as her hands traveled across his skin. "I am," replied Naruto in a husky voice. "How about I give you a little something before you go, hm?" She purred as her hands traveled south to his groin. "Maybe you could," said Naruto, inviting the feeling of her slender hands move along on his member. With Seraphim and Naruto having such a wonderful time of exploring each other's bodies, Naruto gave his lover a kiss goodbye as he slipped into some clothes. He wore a white collared shirt, black pants, black shoes and a black blazer, just to keep the part of being clean and sharp. Making it to Kushina's apartment, Naruto knocked on the door and stood there waiting. As he waited, he heard the sounds of someone stumbling over things to do something while a second voice sounded, followed by the crashing of something fragile. Thinking now would be a good time to go in and see what the bloody fuck was going on, Naruto pulled out the Desert Eagle, pulled the hammer back and slowly opened the door. Slowly moving into the room, he came to the sight of both Kushina and Anko before him. But Anko was busy telling Kushina to put that on or this on, while Kushina was standing there in nothing but a nice set of lacy red langire, holding a very beautiful purple dress that looked to go down to her knees. "I don't think he'd like me in this one," said Kushina as she threw the dress to the side, which, funny enough, landed right on Naruto's face. "But it looks nice on you. It also brings out your eyes," replied Anko as Kushina threw a shoe at her. "You said that for the past 3 dresses. First one made me look like a schoolgirl. Second one make me look like a fucking hooker. Do you honestly think he'd like to see that? Especially to someone who will be my future husband?" snapped Kushina. "Wow. I was only planning on starting out slow and then get into the whole marriage thing." "You're already at marriage before we got to the restaurant," said Naruto, taking the dress off his face, and with Kushina going redder than her hair. "Pervert!" she screamed before she slapped Naruto through the face. Sitting on the couch as Anko sat across from him, a red hand mark still visible on his face, as he watched Anko's eyes dart from spot to spot, majority of them landed on him, and Naruto very much caught the way she licked her lips. "Okay. I gotta ask? Why are you looking at me like that?" asked Naruto with a sigh before Anko really locked eyes with him. "I know this may seem rash, but can I please come with you?" she begged. "Why?" asked Naruto, raising an eyebrow. "To be truly honest, I've never seen a man quite like yourself. You hold feeling for everyone around you. You take their values and show their qualities. I like that in a man. So please," said Anko, making a puppy dog expression. "Fine. If you're gonna carry on with that face, I'll take you with," said Naruto as Anko squealed and hugged him. After a few minutes, Kushina came through and instantly Naruto's jaw hurt the floor. She was wearing a beautiful blue dress that came down to her shins and matching shoes. Her hair was pulled back to be in a single ponytail. Naruto soon found himself getting lost in how she looked. She had the mention, Anko came second behind her. This was incredible. "Is it something I have on?" asked Kushina, checking herself only to feel Naruto's strong arms wrap around her waist and bring her face close to his. "You look so breathtaking," said Naruto as he ran his fingers along her back. Kushina shivered at his touch, but welcomed it nonetheless. It felt good to her. She wouldn't let anyone else feel her up like Naruto was right now. Telling her that Anko wanted to come as well, Kushina agreed to let her friend come with. After all, Kushina had been trying to get Anko hooked up with someone, and should Anko choose the man she loved, so be it. She'd be glad to share him. After all, he had already been sleeping with another woman, and she was completely fine with it. Getting out the apartment, Kushina and Anko soon found themselves making their way to one of the most expensive restaurants in Konoha. But Naruto had a smirk on his face. He had already made the reservations when he showed the owner his family crest, and they allowed him their best seat ever. As he requested, a nice perfect view of Konoha from the second floor. "Ah, Naruto-sama. Your table is ready," said the host. "Thank you." "After you, my loves," said Naruto as he stepped aside for them to walk past him. "Such a gentleman," said Anko as Se and Kushina followed the waiter. They soon marveled as they looked over the entire of Konoha. It was completely amazing and they couldn't believe Naruto pulled this one off. But he would never tell them his secret. "Your food is being finished. Will only be a few minutes. Again, we are truly sorry. We didn't know you were Enishi-sama's son," said the waiter as he left to get their food ready. "What did he mean by Enishi-sama's son?" asked Anko, taking a seat with Kushina. "As in I am that son. My father was human who was Enishi. My mother. Now she is something else," said Naruto with a chuckle, only to have Anko tilt her head in confusion. "You spoke of your father in the past tense but your mother in the present." "Why?" she asked. "Ah, so you caught that. Yes, my father is now dead. But my mother isn't. Guess you can very much have hard time killing a goddess," said Naruto as both of them nearly fell off their seats. "Your mother is a goddess? But then that would make you a..." trailed Kushina as she saw Naruto smile, while nodding his head. "Yes. A demigod. I am a child offspring of a god and a human," said Naruto. "And your eye? Is that part of your powers?" added Kushina as Naruto grabbed the eye patch. "Yes. My eye patch is to hide my evil eye, as my Ka-san tells me. Now should I remove it, I gain feats of incredible strength and speed. I can even access power on my Ka-san's side of the family, called Hell Trigger," said Naruto as their food came in. "So all this power is yours to command, and yet you keep it hidden away. Why?" asked Anko, unsure of his reason behind hiding his eye. "Should I remove the eye patch, everything around me begins to descend into mayhem and destruction. I still am not very good at controlling it yet, but when I can control it, I will be able to call on it at will," said Naruto. "That makes sense now," said Kushina as they began to eat. After their food was eaten and the food being on the house, due to the owner feeling he owed the demigod for all the times he chased him away, they up and left. Dropping Kushina off at her apartment, she gave Naruto a kiss and told him that she was one of the examiners in the exams, so he'd be seeing a lord of her. Naruto smiled to her and gave her a final good-night kiss. Walking to Anko's apartment, they spoke about everything they could, until the topic of her little hickey from the bastard. Thinking about it, Naruto offered Anko a way to get that bloody thing off her. She looked dead in his eyes as if he just said something stupid. "I seriously doubt you can do that," said Anko. "I seriously doubted the fact that I was a demigod not long ago," shot back Naruto. "Touché. Okay. But no playing with my life like he did," said Anko seriously. "I promise. I will treat you like gold," said Naruto as Anko opened her apartment up. It was pretty standard. A few empty ramen cups lay by the bin, worn clothes dotted the floor, and the room had a feel of loneliness. But then again, she had been living alone. Naruto knew what that left like all too well. Sitting Anko down with her laying on her back into his chest, Naruto got to work on getting the bloody thing off her. Doing a full analysis, he concluded the best way for her to be rid of this thing was to rebirth her. But he didn't know how to do that. And his father's powers hadn't quite fully awakened yet. Sure, he could use a few of them, but not all of it. Deciding to get some help, he shunshined the two of them to Chizardo's office. They found her in the nick of time as she was just about to pack away. "Naruto, what brings you here?" she asked as she put her stuff down. "My friend here has a bit of a problem. I know you're a goddess here on Earth. So can you help her?" asked Naruto. "Sure," was all she said as she went to look at Anko's hickey. Doing a very quick check-up on the mark, Chisato smiled to Anko, to which Naruto knew something was coming. And he'd not like it. Or maybe he would be. "The mark can be removed," said Chisato, making Anko smile with glee. "However," stated Chisato, holding her finger up to silence her, "there will be a serious thing that will happen to you. I'll have to rewrite 1/4 of your DNA to be that of an angel. Are you okay with that? Stated Chisato, sitting at her desk and crossing her legs. Anko thought about it. Or rather, she didn't even think about it. She simply shot up so fast and shouted with everything she had. I'll become January 4th angel. As long as I'm free from this bastard, said Anko with excitement. Good to hear, said Chisato, grabbing a beaker and a knife. She cut her wrist and let the blood flow into the beaker. Filling it halfway, she handed the beaker to her and watched as she drank it in one go. Anko soon began to feel hot as her hair flashed blonde and her eyes a brilliant green with a golden aura about her. She felt incredibly powerful and even felt the grip Orochimaru had over her fall away. She felt liberated. She felt clean. And above all, she felt extremely happy. Thanking Chisato for saving her like that, she took Naruto's hand and shined them back to her apartment. Or more like her bedroom. Falling onto the bed as Naruto pulled the covers over them, Anko snuggled up to him and laid her head on his chiseled chest. Both breathed in the fragrance of their sex as they gave each other a very passionate kiss on the lips. You're a fucking rock star, said Anko, and you know how to please a man very well, said Naruto. Can we do it again soon? Asked Anko. We just finished and all you can think about is our next fuck session, said Naruto as he looked her as a sweat drop appeared on his head. Just marking my territory, love. Sure, I'd be happy to share. But outsiders are not allowed to come even 10 feet near you, much less look at you without my permission, said Anko. Now you sound like Sarah-chan. My first lover, said Naruto as he stroked Anko's shoulder. Don't care. All I want is you, said Anko as she soon felt sleepy. And you can have me whenever you wish, said Naruto as he too fell asleep. But little did they realize was that outside their window, 4 heads could be seen. One had horns with white hair, the other had raven hair tied with a green ponytail. The next was also raven hair but had Nico ears, and the last had raven hair as well but was tied in a ponytail with a white ribbon. Told you he'd have sex, said Kuroka. You called it. Looks like we owe you 50 ryo, moaned Zest as they went home to pay up, slowly waking up to a wonderful smell flooding his nostrils. Naruto slowly opened his eyes to find Anko not with him, as well as one of his shirts were missing. Seeing where this was going, Naruto slipped his pants on and made his way out the bedroom and found her busy cooking food for them. She had pans out and bread in the toaster. It smelled divine, and of course she was wearing his shirt. Nothing else. Walking over to her from behind, Naruto wrapped his arms around her, drawing her close to him while she breathed a sigh of happiness as she leaned into his embrace. She even shivered with delight when she felt his lips grace her neck in a kiss. Good morning, Anko-chan, said Naruto as Anko turned her head and gave him a passionate kiss, to which Naruto gladly gave back. I see you've got breakfast going, said Naruto as he broke from her embrace. I did. Why don't you lay the table and we can get started, said Anko. Doing as she instructed, Naruto got the table laid and soon they began to eat the wonderful food Anko had made. It tasted as brilliant as it smelt. Anko smiled to him as he ate her food with vigor. It was one of the best things she had ever seen. Seeing someone thoroughly enjoy the food was such a wonderful thing for a cook to see. With the food now eaten, Naruto did the dishes while Anko jumped into a shower. He couldn't help but feel that things were going to be extremely bad for him very, very soon. Hi, Naru-chan, came a voice that made Naruto cringe in fear. Slowly turning around, he came face to face with Bishamon, the very woman who specifically asked to be Naruto's first. And now that he was no longer a virgin, this was going to be extremely bad for him. Bishamon-chan, how's it going? Asked Naruto in a shaky voice. Doing well. You know, with the whole goddess thing. And then I hear from one of the angels that you had sex with a woman? Said Bishamon in a stern voice as the sky slowly blackened. This was getting more worse than ever. Naruto was seriously treading on some thin ice right now. One wrong move and he'd have a very pissed off goddess on his hands. It wasn't planned. I swear, said Naruto, throwing his arms up in defense. Really? So you just so happened to be walking along the road, slipped, and suddenly, your cock fell into a woman's ice cream. That's what it sounds like to me, said Bishamon as her power swirled around her as thunder boomed down from the sky. Naruto cringed in fear. Sure, he was granted longevity thanks to his demigod powers, but he seriously doubted that those same powers would help him now. Bishamon was only one sentence away from grinding him into dust. Okay. Yes, I had sex with another woman. Yes, I promised that you were going to be my first. And for that, I am truly sorry. Look, if we can just get past this, I'm sure we can put this whole mess behind us, said Naruto, only to have Bishamon grab his throat and pin him against the wall. His feet dangling 2 feet off the ground, her eyes blazoned with rage as her power turned violent with her hair being tugged from the power. How many times must I get it through that thick demigod brain of yours? I don't play nicely with others. Sure, I can tolerate them. But when I say that I want to be your first, you'd better make sure that I am that first. Spat Bishamon as Naruto felt her hand tighten around his neck. I can't, said Naruto as he struggled to pry her iron-clad grin on his throat off. You what? You can't do this? You can't be with me? Said Bishamon, clearly not seeing that she was choking him to death. Well, that's fine. I don't want to be with you either. I don't. Hey! Don't fall asleep on me here. Wake up. And Naruto? Naruto. Oh shit, said Bishamon as she dropped Naruto with the thud heard. In her rage, she didn't realize that she was choking him. She didn't realize that she had been cutting his supply of oxygen to his body. And right then and there, she realized just how far she had become jealous. She realized she had become selfish and wanted him all to herself when she knew he was the Overlord, whose secondary job is to bring in women who loved him, while the primary job was to ensure everyone knew who was boss. She didn't see it until Naruto passed out like that. At that moment, Anko came bursting through the door with a towel wrapped around her body. Finding Naruto on the floor, passed out, she began to fear the worst. Looking to the woman before her, she ran to Naruto's side and put his head on her lap. Naruto, what did you do? Snarled Anko, glaring at Bishamon. I'm sorry. When he wakes up, tell him that I will give our relationship another shot, said Bishamon as she vanished. What just happened? Asked Anko as she went back to tending to Naruto. A couple minutes later, Naruto found himself in a cemetery of some sorts. It looked very creepy, and what added the touch was the fact that a low fog that covered his feet hung over the ground while crows cawed in the dead trees. Looking up, Naruto found a starless black sky and a moon in a solar eclipse. About time you showed up, echoed a voice around him. Spinning around as fast as he could, Naruto searched for whoever made that sound. For whoever was speaking to him. Turning around, he found a man standing there, but he was nothing like Naruto had ever seen before. His hair was a snow white, his clothes were similar to Naruto's, but the only thing different was that on top his head was a pair of small black horns. As well, his wings were a full black color, showing his rank as fallen angel. Who are you? Snapped Naruto. I am you. I'm what your mother calls the Seraph State. Don't worry. You'll learn this very soon about the corrupted powers inside you because of your overpowered awakening, said the Seraph State. I already know. Instead of me being on the verge of death, I was one step away from death. That's when my powers awoke. Due to my body sustaining such injuries, my demigod powers were forced to heal and nearly overload my body with power. That's how pieces of my power became corrupted, replied Naruto, folding his arms. Well done. You're well informed. Just keep in mind, you'll be the very object of being a monster when you are completely injured, said Seraph State as Naruto faded out of his mindscape. Waking up slowly, Naruto found himself on the couch while Anko, who was now dressed, was wringing out a new cloth. Turning around, she squeezed him as tightly as possible. She refused to let go. Naruto just lay there as he ran his fingers across her slender back. I thought you were hurt, said Anko. I thought so too, said Naruto as Anko broke their hug. That goddess who was choking you. She said she would give your relationship with her another shot, said Anko as Naruto raised an eyebrow. So Bishamon-chan wants to start over. Sounds fine to me, said Naruto, slowly getting up. Today is the start of the Chunin exams, said Anko. I guess it is, said Naruto with a cocky smile, as much as I'd hate to say it. We better keep what we have a secret away from the others, said Anko. Why? We're lovers now. Why hide what we have now? Asked Naruto as he dove in for a kiss. Anko moaned into the kiss as she wrapped her arms around his neck, drawing him close. Breaking from the kiss while they still held each other, Naruto smiled as he watched her eyes glaze over with lust. Giving her a peck on the lips, he got up. I guess you have a point, but when you have some time to yourself, you and I are going on a date, said Anko. Ooh. Persistent, aren't we? Said Naruto as he received a playful slap from her. Whatever. Just be sure we have some alone time, said Anko with a small pout. I promise, said Naruto as he gave her another kiss, which was more like a make-out session thanks to Anko. Making their way to the door once Naruto was fully dressed, they bumped into Kushina, who was about to knock. Seeing her crush, she brought him into a bone-crushing hug as Naruto hugged her back with such love. Kushina really wanted Naruto, but she knew that some people would not stand for it. But she didn't give two shits about them. All she wanted was the man who was sandwiched between her E-cup melons. Naru-chan! She screamed as she squeezed him tighter. Hi, Kushina-chan, said Naruto as he broke the hug and gave her a peck on the cheek. But Kushina didn't want that. She wanted an actual kiss. So she did just that. Grabbing his cheeks, she brought her mouth to his and gave him a wonderful kiss. Slipping her tongue into his mouth when she felt it slightly open, she soon felt his hands wrap around her waist and draw her close. She really enjoyed how Naruto's hands traveled all over her body, hitting all the right good spots. It was driving her crazy. Breaking from the kiss and gazing into her eyes, Naruto smirked as he licked her neck, causing her to shiver in delight. Never knew you wanted me that badly, said Naruto. Surprise, said Kushina. Don't worry. When I have some time, we can have another date, said Naruto as Kushina smiled to him and gave him a peck on the lips. I'd like that, said Kushina as she left the two of them. We should get going, said Anko. Yup. That we should, said Naruto as he headed off while Anko went to get her stuff ready for the Forest of Death. Walking over to the building, he spotted his teammates. Honestly, why did he still call them as such? Probably a habit. A habit that had to end. Sakura was the first to see him. Naruto baka. You're so late, she shrieked, causing Naruto to clutch his ears in pain. Because I was busy. That's why, said Naruto, drilling his ear to see if it still was working. Dobe. Give me that sword. And your powers, said Sasuke, causing Naruto to roll his eyes. Did you hear what he said? Give him your powers. He deserves it more than you. He's part of a prestige clan unlike you who was born from a whore, said Sakura, only to feel Naruto's hand around her throat and the eye patch in his other hand. Storm clouds clapped above their heads, as if the very heavens were angry at this harlot. How dare you? How fucking dare you? Who gave you the right to say that? Asked Naruto as the clouds sent lightning down from the sky. I was merely stating truth, said Sakura, only to have Naruto's hands tighten around her throat, crushing her will to breathe, if the hands grabbing his own were anything to go by. I happen to be the son of the most powerful man in this village, said Naruto with a growl in his voice. You're not the Yandame's son, said Sakura, only to be silenced quickly when Naruto squeezed tighter. No, I'm not. But I'm the son of the man who helped the Yandame seal Kyuubi, said Naruto. I call bullshit, said Sakura. Naruto was just about to open his evil eye when he felt a hand over it. Looking to see who it was, his body relaxed and the storm cloud ceased to be. It was Kushina. Funny thing, when Naruto and Anko were busy having sex, Kushina in her apartment was getting ready for bed when she was visited by Yami. Yami explained to Kushina about Naruto's extensive powers that dwelled inside him, and Yami then went on to tell her about the terrible power that has been corrupted as a result of him awakening too much due to the fatal injury he received. Kushina told Yami that she was willing to help, as long as she got to be with Naruto. Yami accepted the fact, and the contract for helping Naruto was sealed. She would help Naruto if she got to be with him. A fair trade, wouldn't you agree? Don't, Naruto. You'll just end up making a bigger mess, she said. Slowly calming down, Naruto dropped the banshee, who was now coughing her lungs out due to the ability to breathe again. Naruto placed the eye patch on while Kushina brought him into a hug, to which Naruto gladly gave back. Come on. We should get going, said Kushina as Naruto gave her plump ass a squeeze, causing her to yelp in surprise at his boldness. Of course, my princess, said Naruto as they moved up the stairs to start on the next stage of the Chunin exams. Walking up the stairs while he ran his fingers across Kushina's shoulders for the 7th time, he watched as she shivered again. He really enjoyed playing with her like this. It was so exhilarating. Kushina turned to him with a massive blush on her face. Naruto-chan? Can you tone it down? I am working now, you know, she said. I know. But that doesn't mean I can't play with you every now and then, said Naruto with a cocky smile. You can play with me as long as you want when you have free time. Right now you've got an exam to write, said Kushina as she pushed the doors open and shoved him inside, a massive blush on her face at what she just said. Looking around, he found many other genin. Turns out there was a lot of people, but Naruto soon found a few to be competition. Like with the guy with makeup, and then there was also Rock Lee. Despite being a friend, Naruto knew he'd have to step up his game should he go up against him. He knew he could go up against him, Naruto'd have to use his evil eye. But he would be endangering his life, as he still needed to be trained using the evil eye. He could only use it to bolster his power, but he didn't know how to use it in a more controlled attack. And then there was Neji, Hinata's cousin. He certainly didn't like that guy, and he would very much like to pound his head into next week. His own weapon screamed worth destruction, and wait, what the hell? Quickly pulling out his pistols, he saw they were both glowing a very dark aura. Then he remembered Bishamon mentioned something about the pistols reacting to emotions of the body as well. But when he was angry at Sasuke, oh, that's what happened. He just remembered that when it came to Sasuke and Sakura, he was all with it, and didn't even feel the hatred. But he was aware of it when he was doing it unconsciously. It most likely is a response to his where the weapons use it as a conduit. Neat. But that was when Sasuke and Sakura came into the room with a whole WOD of genin. Naruto was clearly not impressed. It was there to ensure a thinning out, he heard, to separate the dumb asses from the smart asses. But his musings were cut short when Ibiki came into the room. Everyone got into their seats and got the first part of the exams underway. Looking to his right, he spotted Kushina. Giving her a subtle wave, he watched as she blushed with a smile on her face as she waved back. Kurenai, who was also moderating, caught this and began to see what Naruto was to Kushina. She had never seen the woman act like this. So seeing Kushina be this way, it really meant something. She'd be having a very big talk with the redhead Uzumaki later. Looking over the test, Naruto was clearly wondering what this was. The knowledge his mother shoved into his mind by forcing him to read was something he was really grateful for. And now he really appreciated those books gave him the knowledge about everything. Whenever his mother came into the library, she found stacks and stacks of books. At times Naruto had to be pried away from the library to eat something. He kept refusing because he kept saying, "The good part hasn't come yet." And he'd die if he didn't know. Looking over the test, he instantly knew what had to be done, and got all questions done in the blink of an eye. Seeing he only had 30 minutes left, he placed his head down and slept. But that was stopped when the bell rung and found himself in the classroom, but the world around him was all grayed out. But that was when the sound of scratching along a chalkboard could be heard. Cringing at the sound, he turned to find his Seraph State smiling at him as he ran his clawed fingers across the board. "Remember this place? Our old classroom. The very place where we were mocked and scorned. You remember, right? The countless shoutings and hateful word aimed at you," said Seraph State as Naruto growled to him. "You better leave me alone. Yes, I went through all that torture. But some things you learned to deal with," snarled Naruto. "Guess you are right. But know this, my old friend. I will have my time outside," he said as the world around him broke down to reveal him back in the real world. "Man, he is a pain. I wish I can control that power. Then he won't be a bother," thought Naruto as they stopped the test with the examiners taking the tests. Kushina took his test with Naruto giving her a wink to which she blushed at. With the test taken, Ibiki started the next test. It was quite simple and Naruto just waited as students got up and left not wanting to take the last question. When the timer rung, Ibiki announced to them that they all passed the question, but that was when Anko shot through the window with a banner unfurling that read, Konoha's sexy woman alive. Now taken. Naruto had to stifle a chuckle at what he read. After all, he was now Anko's lover, so there was that. And now she was the next moderator for the second part of the Chunin exams. This was going to be better than ever. Maybe when he had some alone time with wherever they were going, he'd have some time with her. Some very intimate alone time. Getting up from his seat and then being escorted to the forest of death, Naruto made his way to the front and pinched Anko's ass, which made her squeak, and she turned to Naruto with a smile. I'll give you some very good private lessons later, she mouthed to him. Can't wait, said Naruto with a wink. Getting everything sorted out, Naruto and his team, man, why do I use that word for those two other idiots, got ready at the gate. Naruto looked up as the clouds showed the face of a woman. To many it looked like a woman's face in the clouds, but Naruto knew it was Bishamon. She was watching from on high to see Naruto in action. She had to admit it that he was quite powerful with those pistols she gave him, and not to mention he had inherited the legendary Yamato, the very weapon wielded by Naruto's father. Hearing the gun go off, they bolted into the forest to begin the next stage. But as they ran, Naruto couldn't help but feel that something was following them. His blood seemed to boil with every passing minute. It wasn't his seraph state that was acting up, as this only happened when he was in serious pain. This was a very dark feeling he was having, and sure enough, Naruto, Sasuke and Sakura ran into a giant boa that swallowed Naruto whole and sped off with him inside. Inside the snake, Naruto struggled to get out, but the hide was just too tough. Wait, nothing was too tough for two powerful handheld dual pistols he named Sun and Moon. Of course, the Desert Eagle was Sun and the revolver was Moon. Pulling the hammers back, he charged up excessive amounts of power into he barrels and fired. The snake burst in a volley of blood and guts going everywhere. But that was when Naruto realized it. Some of the acid had gotten onto his eye patch, and the patch was now coming off. Pulling it off, he clamped his eye shut. He didn't want his power to go crazy now. But that thought was blown out the water when an explosion went off. Disregarding all sensibility, he threw his eye open with his power blasting forth from him, sending his body into a hell rage. Making his way to the place where the explosion went off, Naruto found Sakura watching in horror as Sasuke too stood there in shock. Sighing how he always had to save their pathetic asses, Naruto charged forward and slammed the butt end of Sun into the creepy ass riding a giant snake. The man went flying as Naruto sent a pistol whip to both of them. Snap the fuck out of it, snarled Naruto, glaring at them. You're still alive? Spat Sakura, only to have the barrel of Moon aimed at her head. Such a perfect target. I seriously doubt I'd miss, especially from point-blank range with that forehead of yours, said Naruto, looking to her as his evil eye blazed more. What's wrong with your eye, dove? Spat Sasuke, only to feel dread as Naruto glared at him with his evil eye. It's none of your business, spat Naruto. Tell him, Baka. He deserves to know. As well, give him that eye. Sasuke-kun can make much better use out of. Bang! A compressed bullet of demigod power whizzed past Sakura's ear with a small trickle of blood flowing from her ear. Naruto was now very much mad at her, with the barrel of Moon smoking as he stood over her as the white clouds used in his hell trigger began to swirl around them. How dare you say something like that? Only those of my family have this eye. You don't even know the sheer damage this eye could do to someone who doesn't have my blood running through their veins. Maybe I should put 2 bullets in your head. Maybe that will shut your mouth, hissed Naruto as he aimed Sun at Sakura as well. Well, if it isn't the demigod. I thought you didn't survive birth? Said the creepy man coming into the area. Bang! Bang! 2 bullets were sent this time as Naruto turned to him and pointed both barrels at the man who came into the clearing, showing himself to be Orochimaru. One more step and you're dead, hissed Naruto. But as Naruto was about to squeeze the triggers, his power surge suddenly stopped, and he dropped to the floor as he heard his seraph state laugh in his mind. Sorry. My turn now, said Seraph State as Naruto began to feel lightheaded. Why? Why is this happening? Of all other times it had to happen now, thought Naruto as he soon found himself hoisted off the ground by a very long tongue by Orochimaru. We can't have such a powerful form of energy around here. Especially not from the first demigod to exist, said Orochimaru as he made his hand sign with his fingertips glowing purple. A demigod? Naruto Baka is a demigod? Thought Sakura staring in shock at the scene before her. That power of the demigod should belong to me, snarled Sasuke. Five-pronged seal, said Orochimaru slamming his hands onto Naruto's chest. Naruto's eyes lit up as he heard the insane laughter of the Seraph State echo in his mind. Losing conscience, Naruto went limp and passed out as his Seraph State began to take hold of his body. Throwing him to the ground, he looked over to Sasuke with a smile. I'll come for you soon, he said as he vanished just as Chisato, Seraphim, Zest, Kuroka and Akino came to the scene. Seraphim had a box on her back which was kind of odd. We must restrain him now. That power we felt earlier will be from his Seraph State, said Chisato as Seraphim placed the box down and opened it to show strips of white paper in it. Chisato erected a barrier while Seraphim used her power on the paper to spin around the barrier while many were kept inside the box. Zest, Akino and Kuroka all got ready to fight whatever was going to come their way as a strange pulsating sound echoed through the area, rings of white shooting out from Naruto's chest as he lay there. Whatever was going to come was not going to end well. Waves of silver energy shot off in a radial effect as it began to speed up. The team that had gathered to try and contain Naruto's power became worried as they had never expected on what to expect. They knew of the Seraph State, but they didn't know about the full extent on what it can do. To be honest, they were extremely scared. Sasuke and Sakura stood there, paralyzed in fear as the waves quickened and quickened. With every wave they felt the fear slithering inside them grow more and more. It was like they were watching death right before their eyes. And soon enough Naruto's body erupted with a smoke screen being kicked up as an unholy roar echoed through the ears of everyone present. Sakura covered her eyes as the dust approached her. When she removed her eyes she dropped to the floor as what was before her eyes could only be described as one being from her deepest nightmares. Inside the square barrier stood Naruto. But this was a more demonic than the previous Naruto. The hair was a pure snow white, the eyes held a sense of death and destruction. Pure energies flowed off the body as claws rested at the end of each fingertip, while two pure black feathered wings rested behind him. Lifting his head, the crazed Naruto revealed his eyes to be full black with a golden iris in the pools of darkness. The beast slowly got up and slowly walked over to the barrier. Finally reaching the wall, he reached out only to find that when he touched it the skin on him burned. The beast turned to look at the barrier and for a second it looked like it was not going to do anything. But that was when the beast roared so loud at those gathered as the barrier slowly began to melt away. At this rate, the beast would break free. Sarah-chan! Shouted Chisato. Yes, I know, said Seraphim as she made the pieces of paper enter the barrier which repaired it instantly. What are you doing? Asked Sakura making her way over to them. You've heard just now that Naruto is a demigod. But when he awoke his power the majority of it went into overdrive due to the near-fatal wound he received, meaning that when his body is in extremely weakened state his Seraph State awakens. Meaning he becomes something of a small handful, replied Chisato. Naruto reared back and shot his hands back as fireballs shot out in every direction, hitting the barrier with everything they had. The barrier's walls began to decay more quicker. No, said Seraphim as she stretched her arms to her sides as paper flew out of the box and did their best to mend the barrier. This won't hold for long. Where is Yami-sama? Said Zest as the ground began to shake and groan. I don't know, replied Chisato as a hole was made in the barrier and a fireball shot out toward them. Kuroka struck her hand out along with the others to stop the energy attack. But even with their combined strength it took a lot out of them just to banish the attack away. Zest, Kuroka, Akino. You okay? Asked Chisato. Don't expect this to do much, said Zest as she placed her hand on the ground. The ground right under Naruto gave way and the beast lost its footing. Trying to steady himself the girls found their opening. Do it now, said Chisato with Kuroka shooting a part of her obi at Naruto. Naruto simply stretched out his hand and instantly destroyed the obi that tried to restrain him more. Chisato, seeing this was not going anywhere, pushed as much power into the failing barrier as possible. I can't hold him. He's gonna break free, shouted Chisato as they did everything in their power to stop him, and sure enough, he did. The barrier sizzled out of existence as everything before Naruto was blasted back by an unknown force. Such force sent everything flying as trees were uprooted, grass was torched, and the people were thrown around like ragdolls. Kushina was seen sprinting to the site where she felt the power of Naruto. She was busy enjoying some time with her friends, but before she could even have a chance to telling Kurenai about Naruto, she felt the power go off like it was. When she arrived, she come to a site that looked to have been struck by a meteor. The ground burned and smoked, trees were nowhere to be found, and the people who loved Naruto, excluding Sasuke and Sakura, was lying about, injured or nearly there themselves. Looking to see Naruto, she became filled with fear. His back was turned to her, and his wings were open. Naruto-kun, she said as she remembered what Yami said to her. The power of the Seraph state is no joking matter. If it comes down to him going berserk, ensure that he is stopped no matter what. Run Yami's voice in her mind. I'm sorry, Yami-sama. I couldn't get here in time, said Kushina as tears rolled down her cheeks. But I will stop him for the safety of his future, said Kushina as she began to run to him. Turning around, Naruto saw the red-head Uzumaki making her way to him. A fireball burned into existence, and was fired at her. She jumped out the way and tackled him to the ground. Naruto thrashed about and did everything in his power to get the woman off him, even going so far as to headbutt her. Kushina grunted in pain as she tightened her grip on him. Soon Naruto's beast-like state came to an end as steam smoked off his body and his BDY returned to what it was. The seal on his body sizzling off him. Slowly opening his eyes with his scara turning back to normal, he looked about. Seeing Kushina laying on him, he slowly sat up, finding everything completely destroyed. Even those he loved were injured. He didn't give a shit about Sasuke and Sakura, but seeing the others hurt because of him left a huge weight on his heart. Kushina-chan, said Naruto as he saw a small trickle of blood flowing down her head. Moving her fringe, he saw the blood flowing down her head. He was utterly ashamed for doing this to the woman he loved. He hated himself for doing this to her. Slowly opening her eyes, Kushina smiled to him, but Naruto turned his head away from her. I hurt you, said Naruto. It was bound to happen. You couldn't stop it, said Kushina, turning Naruto's head to look at her. But can you still forgive me for what I did? Asked Naruto, only to have Kushina kiss him on the lips. I will never stop loving you, she said. But just as they were about to help the others, Danza showed up and had his ANBU arrest Naruto. They took him to be at the desk of Hiruzen, who looked down at Naruto. He had a face of disgrace and fury as he looked at the young demigod. You're a traitor, Naruto. I hear that you let all your power out and nearly decimated everything in the Forest of Death. What do you have to say for yourself? Snarled Hiruzen. All I say is that I am not guilty. I was just fending against a creepy pedophile while Sasuke and Sakura were being a bunch of pussies. In the end, he forced me to awaken the Seraph state, said Naruto, and in the end you injured one of your own. Naruto, you are hereby taken out of the Chunin exams and kept off missions for 5 years. You are to never leave the village and to always be on watch, said Hiruzen, only to have room be condensed in a form of raw power being emanated from Naruto. Suspended? From being a ninja? That's fine with me. Besides, you know exactly my true destiny. To rule over everything as I see fit. To rule the world. The gods themselves ask me for help. I am their champion. You don't want me to be a ninja? Fine, I'll just take my rightful place as Overlord then, said Naruto, throwing his headband onto Hiruzen's desk. I quit being a ninja, said Naruto with a scold. Naruto, you can't quit. I am your Hokage. You will do as I say, said Hiruzen. I just did. Besides, shouldn't you deal with her now? Asked Naruto, looking behind Hiruzen as a portal opened up. Naruto left immediately, and closed the door just as Hiruzen turned around and found Yami standing before him. Why, Yami-sama? said Hiruzen, only to watch as Yami clicked her knuckles as her power swirled and thrashed violently around her. Naruto didn't even stay to hear the outcome of the ordeal as he heard it all. The cursing as Yami pounded the little man into an inch of life. Naruto still couldn't believe that after one small little incident, he was now considered a traitor. But he didn't care. He had just made a claim to take his rightful place as Overlord and destroy the army marching on the elemental nations. Nothing was going to stop him. Nothing. Naruto never really needed to be a ninja. Ever since he learned while he was in the underworld, he was taught about the things an Overlord does. But he had to wonder, is there more to the whole taking and ruling the world? That was the only question on his mind. At least Seraphim and the others were okay. Just before he was taken, Kushina was seen checking on them, and just before he was shunshined away, he saw them waking up. Thank Kami for that. But with him now no longer being a ninja, he could go and rule. Opening his home, he found a woman sitting on his couch. Her dark purple hair pooled around her as she sat there lazily, as if she was waiting for someone. She had one amazing figure on her. One which very much rivaled Bishamon's and Zest's. She wore a strange purple-black outfit that showed some flesh here and there through the see-through areas. That was when the woman took a notice of him and smiled warmly to him. "Hello, Naruto-kun," she said as Naruto cautiously sat down. "The only reason as to how you know my name can only mean you're one of the goddesses who know my mother," said Naruto skeptically. "Wow. Yami-chan really taught you well." "Yes, I am a goddess. More importantly, the Shinigami. But you can call me Scathach," said the woman, with Naruto gaining a question mark above his head. "Sorry for saying this, but I didn't expect you to be, well," trailed Naruto as he tried not to look her up. "Oh, I see. You expected a person with a scythe and looked like a skeleton. Or the whole ghost thing with the dagger. I can show you if you want," she said, slowly bringing up her power, with Naruto thrusting out his hands. Nope. That's okay. I believe you," said Naruto, hoping he could avoid his father's and mother's home exploding with power. "You're probably wondering as to why I am here," said Scathach. "You're most likely here to train me," said Naruto, with her nodding. "Yes. I'm here to teach you on how to use that power of yours. Your mother, when you went into your seraph state, had a brainwave and asked me to take you to the land of the dead to teach you to use your hell trigger and your seraph state better. It will take a while for you to get used to your seraph state, but I help you get a better grip on your hell trigger more faster," said Scathach. "But what about those I love here?" asked Naruto. "They can't come with. I've only prepared the land of the dead to allow you to live there. Should they be taken into the land of the dead, they would die from, well, the dead energy in there," said Scathach. "That makes sense. So, what else will I be taught?" asked Naruto. "You'll also be taught to use your angelic power from your father," replied Scathach, with Naruto's eyes widening. "So my father is in the land of the dead. Why didn't you return him to my mother?" asked Naruto, with Scathach shaking her head. "It couldn't be done. Yami-chan knew that if a human was brought back to the world of the living, the world will enter a parallel shift, and the doors of hell and the land of the dead would swing open and let everyone out. There are seals and restrictions in place, so that is impossible. But that doesn't mean that she can't come and visit him from time to time," responded Scathach, with Naruto understanding that there must always be a balance. "Kyubi," called Naruto, with the fox making his way to Naruto. "Yes, Naruto-dano," said the fox. "Ensure you tell my lovers where I am going. Tell them I'm going to be trained in the land of the dead with Scathach to better harness my power," said Naruto, with Kyubi nodding his head. "I will ensure they are informed," said Kyubi, with both Naruto and Scathach getting up. "Now let's be off," said Scathach, with Naruto nodding his head. "Yes. Let's go," said Naruto as a portal opened, with the two of them walking in. "Train hard, Naruto-dano," said Kyubi as he went back to guarding the house along with the minions. The portal opened up in a very much barren wasteland which looked to have been wrought with famine and disease. Dead trees littered the grounds, and crows caught above them as they flew about in the grayed-out sky. A few souls were seen wandering the place, as they seemed to have no clear thought of what they want to become. "So very charming," said Naruto sarcastically as he looked about. "This is the land of the dead. We are on one of the many planes of death here. This is the first level, where people who didn't know what they wanted to do in life end. They endlessly wander around, not having any thought of what they want to do, said Scathach as she led Naruto to a portal that opened on a platform before them. One soul moved past the portal, but inside of going through he just phased right through. As you just saw, the souls that are here will stay here. But seeing that I am the Shinigami, and you a demigod, can come through. But you must get permission first, said Scathach. Walking into the next portal they found themselves at a very nice-looking home with a beach rolling against the shore. Birds chirped in the trees as a waterfall was heard nearby. There was also a nice wooden beach house resting by the sands of the ocean. This is my home. No one else can get into here apart from myself and you, said Scathach with Naruto marveling at what was here. This is amazing, said Naruto looking around. Thanks. Your father is on the level above us. The level he is on is where all the nobility and other people go, said Scathach. Okay, hold on. Why is it that souls go here, yet there are souls being tortured in hell? Asked Naruto. I was waiting for that question to come up. All souls come here. The lost souls you saw when we first got here are defaultly placed there, but the more different ones like your good guys and bad guys, they go to hell or heaven. They are judged by myself, Kami and Yami and are sent to where the final place they will stay, said Scathach as Naruto understood why she was saying, I see. So, what are you going to train me on? I know it is my hell trigger and seraph state, but what else? Queried Naruto. I'll also be teaching you just what it means to be a demigod. You're the first demigod to exist, but there is still much for you to learn. Some may think that because you're half human, that gets in the way of what you're truly capable of. But truth be told, your human side is your greatest weapon. And that is what I'll be teaching you now, said Scathach with Naruto nodding his head att what she said. But first thing is first. Hand over Yamato, said Scathach holding out her hand. Naruto didn't need to be told twice about that. He saw what Yamato could do in an unleashed state resonating with his own power. But that was a mission to tame. Giving Scathach the blade he got down to training. Now drop to the floor and do 500 push-ups, said Scathach. Naruto got to it, and dropped to the floor. But before he did the first push-up Scathach sat on his back. The added weight was something Naruto didn't expect. What are you doing? He asked looking at her. Training you? Now get to it, said Scathach with Naruto huffing. With Anko. With the whole thing now starting to circulate that Naruto unleashed his power like he did, she went to his house to and see things from his point of view. She wasn't accusing him. In fact, she was far from it. She just wanted to hear his side. And of course, have some private time with him after hearing him out. Getting to the door, she knocked and the person who opened the door was Zest in a maid's uniform. She was busy cleaning if the broom in her hands wasn't anything to go by. Can I help you? She asked. Is Naruto-kun home? She asked. He's out, replied Zest before a voice was heard behind her. Relax, Zest-chan. She can be trusted. She's the one who is also Naruto-kun's lover, said Seraphim. Letting her inside, she found the place to be utterly amazing. She never thought Naruto's home was like this. But then again, hearing from Kushina that his inheritance was a mansion, she didn't expect it to be like this. You must be looking for Naruto-kun, said Seraphim looking to Anko who nodded her head. I am, replied Anko. He's training. He's in the land of the dead. We don't know how long he will be away. But he will come back, said Seraphim. Anko nodded her head while still looking about the house. She still couldn't get over the fact that this was Naruto's house. That was when Seraphim chuckled to herself as she got Anko's attention. Wanna live here? She asked. If you don't mind, said Anko. You're more than welcome. We have more than enough space, said Seraphim with Anko gaining sparkles in her eyes. She was so excited she zoomed out the house to get her stuff and move into the mansion. Seraphim shook her head while Zest closed the door and turned to her. He sure knows how to pick Emma, she stated, where Seraphim agreeing with her.